Academy. So greetings to you. Let me know where you're joining from. We do have a global audience, so let me know where you're joining from. Do like, subscribe, share, invite your friends, let them pull up, right? Tell your friends to pull up. This is the best place to be in the universe. My stuff is better than any other stuff you're going to see out there. Okay, a couple of amazing announcements. First of all, earlier last week, I launched and released a white paper, a technical white paper, including my body of work when it comes to the quantum leap human design. Listen, that stuff is loaded. Okay, a lot of the science behind it. I talked about the human mind is designed as a quantum computer. It uses your energetic states, to store memory, to retrieve memory, to process information, to drive mobility, on and on and on. Listen, that stuff is just pure juicy, right? Juiciness. So if you want to learn how to optimize your life and business, okay, check it out at toyinumesiri.academy. I also have the human design courses, right? 7 packed courses that gives you, listen, the length, breadth, depth of my classes. And then we also have the Entrepreneurs Academy, 10-week accelerator, on and on. The reason I pack all of these amazing goodies together in my school is because we all have hopes, dreams, aspirations, right? You have yours, everybody has theirs. But when it comes to manifesting them, right? When it comes to giving birth to your hopes, dreams, and aspirations, hopefully you know that you have a lot of work to do to actually birth in reality, right? Things within you that nobody can see, the work you have to do to make them manifest, right? Many people do not have the skills, the dexterity. There's a lot of limitation, fear, doubts that stands in the way. And so why you want to build wealth, why you want to achieve unlimited success, on and on. The classes is really to guide you, to help you remove limiting beliefs, fears, doubts, right? Whatever is going to stop you, and then equip you. So it's to remove, okay, doubts, fears, limitations, and then reprogram, right? Give you the right information, the knowledge that will help you quantum leap into success. Okay. So check out the school. I want you to visit us, join us, access those tools that will help you quantum leap. Okay. And so today, for those on the video, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, right? We have those on the video here, and we also have Instagram, right? So those on Instagram as well. You can see the new slide I prepared for today's discussion. So this is diving deeper into the Quantum Leap Human Design Program, right? And I'm going to be unlocking greater results for those who are following this conversation. Okay. So I have my notes, just high level things I want to cover, at least 5 major things I want to dive deeper into today. So hang in there, stay with me again. Like, subscribe, share, invite more people to be part of this. And if you're team replay, listen, thank you for stopping by as well. Leave your comments, interact. I usually come back to respond to those after this is published. Okay, ready to go? I am. I hope you're ready. I hope the audio, everything is looking good as well. Okay. So this slide, there's a lot packed to it, right? For previous slide, let me do something. I'm going to bring, for those who have been following for a while, let's bring something up. Okay. For those who have been following for a while, the slide that I just pulled up, you've seen that. Okay. The new one is diving into. So when I talk about on the physical side, you see action. And then on the spiritual side, you see power. The human design, the quantum leap human design is deeply rooted in biblical principles, right? How God designed us and the Christian faith, okay? And so this is an extrapolation, right? To teach biblical principles, biblical manifestation principles that will unlock greater success. This is the most effective, most transformational program you can find in the world, literally, right? This is original to me, to my school, okay? So my students have access to this. So when you see on this slide, you see the word action. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to dive deeper. When we talk about physical mobility, the things that we do in the physical world, how your body is designed, okay? The emotions, feelings, the physics, chemistry, biology, energy, right? Mind. So all of the things that are unseen, the metaphysical, the subconscious, the unconscious, the decisions you make in those spaces, how they translate into the physical world. Because many times people are only conscious of what they are conscious about, which is the physical world. What you're thinking about, what you're doing physically. The power is going, should I say, behind the scene, right? The back end, the back end of your front end, right? The back end of your computer. What's going on within you that drives your physical world, and how you, my classes, those classes, right? The human design courses, giving you the power back. If it's like driving your car, when you know how to drive your car, you can take your car, you can be more intentional. When people don't know what is driving them, your power is hijacked and you can be managing chaos in your physical world. If you're not intentional and you feel powerless and you don't know, right, how to drive your car, something else is driving your car and leading your life and driving you to a place you don't want to go. You are experiencing feelings and emotions you don't have control over. Now you have hopes, dreams, aspirations. You say you don't have time and energy for your own dreams, yet your time, energy, and resources are being stolen, on and on and on. This gives you power. It puts you back in the driver's seat of your life for you to take yourself wherever you want to go. Because so that at the end of time, you have no excuses. Okay, so let me bring today's slide back. Okay, so if you see in the physical world, I split that action into two sides. So this is, again, this is built on biblical principles and is supported by biology, chemistry, physics, quantum. Okay, okay, so there's a lot of intellectualism to how I teach. Bring your biology back, book, physics, chemistry. Okay, so there's a lot of intellectualism. Okay, we are going to think, you're going to process this. Okay, because this is where your power is. So you see in the physical world, um, biologically, you know the central nervous system. You also understand your endocrine system, right? Endocrine creates hormones, what we call hormones, and those are chemicals that are loaded with message, instructions that flows into your cell and organs, right? Organs and cells, right? And the central nervous system is governed by electricity, right? The sparks that attaches itself to muscles, your muscular system, okay? The movement, the things that you do, your hands, your leg, where you go, the things you do, okay? Your muscles hold, right? Your bones and mobility, they control mobility through contraction. Biceps, triceps, right? So your physical world, the things you're going to do with that your body does physically, motion is governed by central nervous system giving instructions and sending electrical signals to your nerves, and the nerves attached to your muscles creates mobility, and it's electrical. Now, what I want to introduce, physics. Where you find electricity, you're going to find magnetism. Where you find magnetism, you can convert it back to electricity. So when we start talking about laws of attraction, on, manifestation, people who cannot explain, you think it's woo-woo. No, I'm giving you the science, the biology, the chemistry behind all of these principles, biblical principles. How God designed us. You cannot be ignorant anymore because ignorance is causing a lot of issues. So you can see on the screen, right? Central nervous system, electrical circuits, electricity sending signals through your nerves to your muscles. It's also part of the mobility, right? The things your organs will do. If your heart needs to run, if you need to run faster, pumping, all of the functions, right? And so there are chemicals. The endocrine will release chemical, right? Chemical energy to your cells and organs, and central nervous system electrical messaging. What I'm also going to introduce is this idea, because in the class I talk about mastering your emotions and feelings. The question you need to be asking is what creates emotions and feelings, because those two things drive the physical realm, what you are doing in the physical world. Okay, feelings and emotions drive, it's like what drives your car. Okay, if I say what drives your car, what makes your car move, a physical car, right? There's chemical, the fuel tank, there's fuel, there's energy, there's chemical fuel in the car, and then there's mechanical, the engine. Together, when you steer your car, turn right, turn left, accelerator, right, brake, the car gains mobility, moves forward or moves back, or turn right or turn left. A physical car is designed to use chemical components, mechanical components, electrical components to create motion. The driver in the car decides where it wants to go, and the car obeys the instruction. Trust me, your human design in its structure functions similarly. But who is driving the car? Or the programming is, has it been who programmed the car on where the car should go, what you should do, how you should behave, how you should think, what you're thinking, what, right? Who program the programming, the software of the human, of humans? That's where the control is. That's the invisible world, the metaphysical. Everybody is so conscious. It's like, that's why I always say detach. You are not your mind, you are not your body, you are not your heart. But if you haven't done this work, listen, whew, I know I'm going fast, so let me just pace myself. Let me pace myself, because there's so much to unpack. Like I shared, there's a whole white paper. There are classes, courses. Those who want to optimize their human experience, those who want to quantum leap, those who want to achieve heights of success, those who want to be great, because you have the seed of greatness. But if you don't nurture your own greatness, how do you manifest in reality all of the amazingness, all of the amazing things God has given you? It's not, none of these things happen by default. The only thing that happens by default is is whatever you get, right? Entropy, nothingness, right? Decay. I'm using physics terms too, right? For light to come, for your abundance, greatness to come, you have to drive your car. However, let me just start introducing some interesting things. Let's have fun. Let's have fun with this. Okay, let's have fun. Also, okay, let me know where you're joining from. I mean, if you've been here before, we always try to interact. So I'm not just going to be speaking. I could have just recorded this and put it out there. But when we're doing live, right, we get to interact. Okay, we have people joining. How do you link the spiritual? Okay, questions coming in. How do you link the spiritually to the physical? Awesome, love that question. That's exactly what we're doing. Okay, so let me, I like this type of questions because then I can give specific answer. So consider yourself as a spirit. Guys, I'm going to your to your chairs. I'm good. I'm taking you on a ride. Okay? Rooted in biblical principles, the Christian faith, the breath of God, you, the self, consider yourself a spirit. Can you sit with that? Christians ought to know that already. But if you are not a Christian, please sit with that a minute. And that divine side of you, let's call it the self. Self. You. Spirit. Self. You're joining from UK. Awesome. Good. I'm broadcasting from Chicago, suburb of Chicago. So welcome. Others you can tell me where you're joining from. Let other people know where you're joining from as well. I know we have a global audience. So consider yourself spirit, breath of God, right? Created you. Now, your spirit is now given the opportunity for the human experience. You're here for the human experience. Now, for you to exist, okay, for you to experience the human right, the human reality, for your spirit to experience the human reality, you are given mind, heart, body. I'm trying to answer your question. So the self is the spirit. You are given the mind, the heart, the body. You're given the heart to hold your energy. You're given the mind to process your messaging information. You're given the body, okay, to do in reality, physically, whatever you want it to do, mobility. What most people don't know, okay, and the reason they don't know this is because of when you arrive as a child. The mind is not developed, the heart is not developed. You, the self, you are not developed. You are a stranger in a foreign land. Your body is not developed, and you are handed over. The baby is handed over to other humans that came here before you, parents, family, culture. And while you are a baby, right, not developed, not formed, you don't have your opinion. You don't know. You arrive here in a form. The people who undo you, they program you. They will program your mind. They will teach you ABCD. They program your heart, your vibrational energy. We tune each other. They tune you. How they feel, you start feeling. What they believe, you start believing. How they are acting, you start acting that way. So you, in a way, you become a copy of them. They copy themselves into you. Their thoughts, their opinions, their way of thinking, what they believe, they offer it to you. They pour themselves inside you. That's the first investment. Okay. And so you start functioning the way they want you to function. When we talk about spiritual awakening, is that when yourself wakes up from that slumber and you start experiencing your own mind, the thoughts roaming inside you, when you start experiencing the feelings you embody, when you start observing your own behaviors, if you accept that programming, you live the rest of your life the way you've been programmed. However, if within you, you perceive something is off, you perceive this is not you, you perceive that the mask, the labels, the programming poured into you, right, that you accepted when you were powerless, when you were less developed, if you decide, if you now realize, if the self, the spiritual side of you wakes up, when we start saying self-awareness, when you become aware, awareness comes when your spiritual side realizes that you are distinct, you are separate, and you can bring yourself into a higher realm to observe what's going on inside your heart, your mind, your body. Self-awareness is when you can detach, because that programming, right, the programming from childhood is that you are so enmeshed, so intertwined, because yourself is not separate, it's not powerful enough to distinguish itself or separate itself from physical realities. What you're feeling, what you're thinking, what you're doing. Most people haven't spiritually awakened. They are one and the same. They're meshed together, enmeshed together. Their mind, their body, their spirit is governing the self instead of the self governing the mind and the body. So think about the plane. Let's say the mind, heart, body is on this plane. When you are born, let's say you are here, they override you. You don't have the power to program your mind. You don't, because let's say you don't even know how to speak ABCD. Everybody's teaching the self. Everybody's teaching you who to be, how to function. So the self is not developed. The self is less developed. spiritually, emotionally, energetically. But intellectually, you go to school. The school system trains you intellectually, programs you intellectually. So you can be smart intellectually, but you may be missing spiritual intelligence, energetic intelligence. So what that means is intellectual development and physical development. You eat good food, you're growing older, right? You're maturing. But what's lying beneath is that if the self does not identify its divine nature, that it is, you're supposed to be the boss, that you are supposed to be programming the mind, that you're supposed to take responsibility for programming your mind, your heart, and your body, that's where that self development requirement is needed. Somebody programs you when the self is not developed, and that programming will run your life, would run your reality. Your physical experiences will be governed by that programming. If you awaken spiritually, if you develop the self will mature. It's supposed to mature spiritually, energetically, to now take charge of the mind, heart. That way, your physical reality can mirror your hopes, dreams, aspirations. Okay? So, without spiritual awakening, people don't take spiritual authority, energetic authority, emotional authority over their physical reality. So this physical reality is under the control. The physical world will manifest whatever it's programmed to manifest. The question is, how were you programmed? Who programmed you? And are you satisfied with that programming? And what I realize is that when people start attempting to deviate, let's say you were programmed to be an employee and you have hopes, dreams, aspiration to start a business, meaning you're going to deviate. You now want to move away from the programming. That's where the struggle starts. People struggle because if your mind, heart, body, if you've been trained, you went to school for 20 years, ABCD, they set you on a path, employee mindset, employee energetics, employee thinking, employee behavior, employee reality, and your physical world is saying employee. The information is inside you is employee. The way you act, employee. The way you think, employee. When you sleep, employee. You are weakened. You serve other people with your energy. They bring their own vision. You serve other people's vision. You were trained to serve other people's vision. If you want to be an entrepreneur, a wealth builder, which is why I develop these classes for my students, the biggest struggle of people's life is this. How do you reprogram yourself to be a wealth builder? How do you think abundantly? Because employee mindset is limited. Oh, I can't do this. There's fear infused. The fear of your teachers, the fear of your boss, the fear of this. You have to deal with that. The risk that an entrepreneur has to take, an employee will go, I don't have this, because you've been trained to only look at your bank account. You don't have the faith to step. So that transition, that transformation from employee, right, reality, employee manifestation to entrepreneur manifestation, you have to do a lot of inner work. So I see more questions dropping in. I'm going to review them and then get back to the day. But I hope that helps you a little bit. So okay, I'm reading this. So your spiritual self has to elevate. Woohoo! Okay. When I teach and people can recount it, I'm like, good students. Okay. So your spiritual self has to elevate to become higher than the mind and the desire enabling it to detach from the world and connect to God, seeing yourself from a higher view, not a 3D dimension. So remember, when you were young, you didn't have the power to train yourself. You didn't even have the power to teach yourself ABCD. Somebody, the teachers, you arrived in this world and teachers were lined up for you. Some taught you ABCD. Some taught you 1, 2, 3. Some taught you mathematics. Some taught you chemistry. Humans, when you arrive, your mind is open to being trained. You're here to learn. Forever a student. The question is, who is training you? What did they train you? Who did they train you to become? Because there's another training, the spiritual dimension training, when you connect. Because in order to now do this job, the spiritual self, your divine nature, has to now take the responsibility of deciding what goes into your mind, what goes into your heart, right? You cannot be outsourcing that responsibility and say, oh, it's the government is the problem. Oh, the parent is this person is the problem. No matter what they did, spiritual awakening comes with greater responsibility over the conditions of your life. And so it becomes your job to spend time with God, because your divine nature has to now decide, okay, what are your hopes, dreams, aspirations? Because if you don't take that responsibility, your mind will continue to obey whoever your authority figures are, whoever told you, this is who you should be, this is how you should talk, this is how this is how the world would accept you. So you conform, right? The untrained self, the undeveloped self, the disempowered self will always be conforming, because fear would make that person say, oh, if I don't do this, right? Because the programming, the natural programming, if you are not raised by wealth builders, most people are raised to be afraid, to doubt, to worry, not to trust themselves, not to have courage, not to move forward. So they continue to be limited in how much they can achieve until they reprogram themselves, until they awaken, until they wake up, until they take responsibility, until they invest time, energy to get their power back, to gain spiritual intelligence. You have to be so powerful to train your mind. You now have to teach your mind. You now have to guard your heart, right? Renew your mind, guard your heart. You now also have to discipline your body. Because the body can be twitching, and fear will make the body afraid, right? The body is a representative of the condition of your spirit. Okay, so you said God is not limited, He is limitless, He is able to make the impossible possible. Yes. One thing you need to add on and realize is God will never override the will of the human spirit. Did you get that? Okay. So I like this. So you talked about God, right? God has His will. God has His plans for you. His thoughts towards you are of good, thoughts to prosper you, not thoughts of evil. God has thoughts to give you an expected end. Bible scholars ought to know that. He has His will. He has His desires for you. He has His hopes, dreams, aspirations for you. Those hopes, dreams, aspirations, however, requires your spirit to receive them, to accept them, and to say yes. Your spirit has to say yes to the God's hopes, dreams, aspirations for you. You have to cooperate. You have to align your will with God's will. And then you need to now take the responsibility of driving your car, of infusing your heart, and of preparing your vessels to manifest that using your own will, your own power, your own strength. You now have to take that car, all the equipment God has given you to manifest. You now have to sit in the driver's seat and take yourself, looking at the roadmap God gave you, looking at the vision God gave you, looking at what God is telling you. You will now obey. If you are willing and obedient, you will eat the good of the land. God will not do this work for any believer. That's what's going on. You can sit and pray and receive. God has already, when you were born, your talents, hopes, dreams, aspiration was loaded inside your spirit, not your mind. Who you will become is inside your spirit. It's not in your mind yet. People will make best guess. Oh, do you want to be a scientist? Do you want to do, right? Do you want to be a lawyer? They will ask you those questions, and then based on your answer at 16, they'll set you on the path, on the trajectory. And so you start out your journey until maybe, like God did to Moses. Moses, burning bush experience. Listen, I made you for more than this. That is the spiritual awakening, that you tune your spirit to hear the voice of God. However, it doesn't stop there. You now have to use your own will based on that spiritual intelligence. You now have to program. You have the responsibility of now bringing your mind along, bringing your heart along, bringing your body along. And that in of itself is science. There's discipline, there's emotional intelligence, there's intellectual intelligence. And that's where failure is for most people, is that they sit back and they complain, not realizing you're supposed to be diligently pursuing the manifestation of your hopes, dreams, aspiration. And there is intellectualism, right, involved, character building involved, the discipline of the mind and body. Listen, there's a lot of work involved in manifestation. Okay, got it? So we should see God as able to do all things. All our goals are possible. We see ourselves, if we see ourselves from a higher view. Okay, I still sense that you're still putting it on God. You see, that's the mistake, Christian. They are still, you can't put your own assignment on God. Let's just say God will program your spirit. You have to program your mind, your body, and right, your heart. From what you're still saying God is able. God is able, okay, to work with you to fulfill the plans he has for you. The question is, are you willing to work with God? To be willing and obey. Are you willing to do the work and assignments required to manifest? Look all through the Bible. Everybody God worked with, listen, he gave them instructions and they had to obey. He gave them strategies and they had to obey. Anybody that cannot obey is not useful in God's hands. If he tells you turn right, you're like, oh God, people who haven't done this work, the mind will be countering the instructions God is giving them. That's disobedience. So who is going to train your mind, submit your mind to the spirit? Remember in the Bible, if you don't develop spiritually, you can't bring your mind. If your mind is more superior than the self, if the self has not been developed, you've not invested in any classes, you've not done any personal development, trust me, your mind will rule you. Your mind will boss you. It will tell you what you can do and what you cannot do. And the mind, if it's not spiritually developed, will be telling you what you have, it's a lot of mess. God doesn't burden the soul with what they can't bear. The question is then capacity. What capacity does the soul have? Your spirit is unlimited. Your spirit is able. Your spirit in partnership with God, limitless, like you said. But the capacity of your mind and your heart is dependent on your own assignment. It's dependent on you. So are you building capacity or just tough cats caught alive? Yes. This is a life. Yes. So it's all about capacity. And Bible talks about according to the power of God in you. Not God's power is limitless, but how much of it have you infused energetically? Which one? Because the one you've infused into yourself is the one useful to the flesh, to your body. That's the one you manifest. Make sense? Keep typing for sure. So along this line, again, the first thing was your physical reality is 100% governed, and it's an expression of your inner reality. Your DNA, right, will express itself the way you look, right? Your physical expression, your features, the physical expression, right? Your DNA that nobody can see carries the information on what you're going to look like. The mama papa gene mixed together. I'm trying to explain so that people settle this stuff in their hearts. Like, understand this. Physically, you look the way you look because of the DNA you're carrying, right? Mama, papa mixed together. And I'm also sharing that everything the physical body is going to experience, emotions, feelings, all of those things, also is based on inner conditions, your thoughts and your energy, how you process information, okay, and how you vibrate, okay. And your vibration has to do with your desires, your sense of possibility, and is influenced heavily by what you know. What do you know about you? What do you know about the world? What do you know about God? What do you know about your divine nature? What do you know about your mind? What do you know about your heart? What do you know? What you know governs the level of success you can achieve. Lack of knowledge, ignorance makes people manifest. You will manifest to the level of your knowledge base. That's why Bible says God's people perish for lack of my people perish for lack of knowledge. Is that you are an intelligent being if you refuse to learn, if you refuse to install the apps that will give you abilities to perform certain things in this reality, you're powerless, meaning you are not able. It's like you can have a phone, you refuse to install, you refuse to search for the apps that will enable you to carry out effectively some task on your phone. Your phone has abilities, it's powerful, but the utilization of power to produce results has to be energized. You have to install information knowledge in a dimension in which you want to manifest and express yourself. Lack of knowledge of wealth will mean you can't build wealth. You are powerful, meaning the phone is enabled with computational abilities. Humans, your mind is a quantum computer. It has superior programming. Listen, it is heavily designed with computational skills. But what you learn, what you install is what it will use. You don't install knowledge. You ask it a question. Can you start a business for me? Wah. Can you do this for me? Wah. Branding and marketing. Wah. Physics and chemistry. Wah. If you don't learn, the human is not developed. When we talk about human capacity development, is that people who don't train themselves to be successful, again, the level of the knowledge at your disposal that you've exposed your mind to, that you've installed in your mind, that's all your mind can use to produce outcomes in the physical world. That's why knowledge is extremely, never ever underestimate. Knowledge is what will set people free. Knowledge can break shackles, all kinds of shackles of poverty, of limitation, all kinds. But knowledge is not equal. So when we talk about fields of consciousness, you go and study. That's why when you're going to school, they will tell you which path do you want to take, because the knowledge of biology, the knowledge of law, you study it, you go this path. Knowledge of medical field, you go this path. You want to be a pilot, go this path, because there are fields of consciousness. Because knowledge is vast in the world. And the smartest thing they help you do is pick who you want to be. Okay? Set your destination, set your goals, and then with intentionality, start gathering the knowledge, the abilities, the things that will give you capacity. Start building capacity so that in the area in which you want to succeed, you can succeed. So you have to discern, right? If 20, 30 years ago you said, I wanted to be a lawyer, fantastic. You gathered, right? You were sent to school to gather information so that it will help you to become a lawyer. By the way, ChatGPT right now, you just prime ChatGPT to perform all these things traditional education system has prioritized. Anyway, but that's not the topic of today. Let me stay focused. So there are realms of intelligence. You see? But most people go to traditional school and they perceive, or they are told, or they think, once you leave that university, that realm of study, you've captured all the knowledge left in the world. So most people stop learning. They think they've been taught everything that will give them quality life. They don't know that you just scratch the surface. That degree is just scratching the surface. Because to live a whole life, an optimized life, you want to Everything you want to do, marriage, kids, business, name it, everything you want to do beyond just I have a job is based on knowledge. It's based on knowledge. And many people start failing and seeing challenges in spheres of life because they've not installed that knowledge, the knowledge of how do you take care of your physical body, health. When you are 16, 20, nobody bothered to teach you exercise this, that. Now, I really do appreciate that today's school kids, I'm telling you, I admire when I see my kids, they are in sports, they are doing basketball. I even spoke to my son, I said, come and be my fitness trainer. Come and teach this one, you're lifting. Come and teach me. They didn't teach us. That guy will be mixing protein shake. I'm like, because the knowledge at his disposal on his phone, he can just go, okay, how do you do the protein shake? He'll be telling me, okay, mommy, order this protein shake, order this thing. I'm like, bro, like, for real? They just told us brush your teeth, shower, and move on, and eat food and move on. I literally said, listen, you will, this discipline you are exercising, I admire it. But it's a knowledge base. It's a knowledge base. You have to invest yourself to learn those things. Right? So if you want to exercise, you want to lose weight, knowledge. There's knowledge of calories, calorie deficits, calories in, calories out. How many did you burn? You don't have the knowledge. People can damage themselves because of ignorance. No, saying nobody taught you is not an excuse if you're an adult. Knowledge that I'm sharing right now is a knowledge field. Personal development, quantum, this is a knowledge space. You don't have it, you don't have it. You have it, you change your life. It changes your relationship, it changes your business, it changes your physical reality, it changes your health, your wealth, your optimal, how you live life will change if you invest in these things, in these classes I teach. Right? So the physical reality is governed by spiritual, emotional, energetic laws. Whether you know it or not, I'm telling you, what is influencing your life every day is energy. And, right? Well, okay, I'm trying to summarize very deep things that I go into in my school, right? Energy and information. Those are the two things governing this physical realm. Information, you have an information system. Information is flowing around you. Your thoughts are real. They manifest, they rise up within you, unconscious to conscious. When it shows up, whatever you do with it, unknowingly, many people are manifesting chaos, fear, doubts, right? Because the information you are processing, the mind creates emotions and feelings. Your magnetism, your reality, your emotions, right? Let me put it another way. The chemicals that will flow in your bloodstream and the electricity and the charge that you will receive in your muscles. Those two things are governed by the laws of energy and information. They govern matter, right? The matter is physical. Time, space, matter, the laws of the physical, the third dimension. But I'm saying the third dimension, the 3D dimension, is governed by energy and information. So your thoughts will become matter. They will create chemicals in your body that will run into your bloodstreams, and they will create electricity, electrical circuits through your central nervous system that will fire your muscles. And your muscles, that firing, that electricity become magnetic. That's why when we talk about feelings, your feelings drive what your body will move towards and what it will move away from. The things you like is based on how you feel about those things. And how you feel about those things is based on the programming and the energy you have encoded inside you. So your body is supposed to obey. It is obeying laws of physics, chemistry, and biology. You will do physically based on the instruction thoughts inside you. Let me also drive some other stuff. Today's world, right? Because your body is voice activated. Your physical being is voice activated. Your thoughts yield instruction to govern what your body will do, because this is how you tell your body to do. What do you want to eat? The moment you say, you think it, that thinking, God designed it to be the instruction you're sending to your body. Clear thinking, your body will produce clear results. Funky thinking, confused thoughts, you confuse your body. Your body and your is always listening for your instruction. You are the governor, manager, boss over your body. But if you don't play that role, meaning if the self doesn't mature, if you don't take your power back, your body will be doing anything. You to be like a movie. It's like your car. It's just going everywhere. You don't know, it has been hijacked by programming and you are no longer in control. Your body will be doing things that doesn't pleasure you. And that is the real stuff, because people can program you, particularly from childhood, not to pleasure you, but to be pleasuring themselves. You become a people pleaser, right? You start pacifying, making other people happy, because that's your job as a child. Get up, you get up. Sit down, you sit down. They program you to be pleasing the world, but your soul is like, that's the work. That's the work. Okay. So let's move on. 2, your beliefs, they are based on information you have and your energetic vibration. Right? That's why Jesus, every miracle, when he wants to perform a miracle, when God wants to gift you good things, when God wants to bless you, the best thing he will do for you is have a conversation with you. When Jesus wants to perform a miracle, he said, get up and walk. You still have to get up. The physical world, your physical, will obey what you believe. All things are possible to them that believe. But if you believe wrong, people are believing lies, so they manifest those lies. Because this system does not care whether what you are believing is positive or negative. It just works. Whatever you pour into your mind, pour into your heart, your body will experience it 100%, 1,000%. Part of developing the self is now consciousness, careful, the care you must now take to watch, to guard your heart and renew your mind. Once you start seeing thoughts, funky thoughts, trying to land in, ignorance will make people go, right? Fear is tied to ignorance. Because the thoughts you are experiencing, you have no power over. When you develop the self and you know how powerful you are and you can exercise your power over your own mind, you can flip the thoughts. But until you rise up at that dimension, you can't flip the thoughts. The thoughts will rule. Thoughts rule. Thoughts control, right? Words control those who cannot control their thoughts. If you cannot control your thoughts, if you cannot control your words, if you cannot choose your words, the words that have been chosen for you, the ones that have been programmed inside you, they're the ones running the show. So beliefs is based on information and your energetic vibration. I cover a lot of energetic stuff, right, in my school, because many people think information alone. When Bible talks about the spirit and life and the word, the spirit and the word is that creation, okay? Words give instruction to energy, and the vibration you also carry, okay, will influence the quality of your thoughts. Because when we start going to the science of vibrational frequency, there are some vibrational frequencies that is not healthy. It's not powerful enough to carry high vibe, right? If you want to manifest a certain level of success, you have to match it with high vibration. And some people are encoding themselves with doubt, right? And those things can only carry stories that match in the meaning dictionary. There's a cross reference, right, in people, that is a universal dictionary, which is what is used to train people on words, English language. What does pen mean? What does computer mean? Is that the meaning vibrates in the world. In the energetic world, words carry meaning that has been given to it by man. And so those meaning as a cross-reference table to what type of vibration can carry that kind of message. That's why humans that give their life to Jesus, they rise in vibration, they can now carry God's word and they can manifest God's will for their life. Because the frequency that is required to manifest what God asks for you, you have to raise your vibration to it. That's why children of Israel, here's the promised land, but they started vibrating. They are like lands, and they started speaking out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth to speak. Out of the abundance of your vibration, your words will match. The words they started speaking, God could not work with that. That's why many Christians, listen, no matter what plans God has for you, if you have to raise your vibration to the frequency of heaven. You have to do that. Okay, for those who haven't seen, let me bring you need to take, there are many classes. Which ones do I put in here? Okay, let me just show you this one. Okay, when I talk about vibrations, emotions, feelings, vibrations creates a reality in your mind. Your mind interprets it through thinking. Through the mind, it creates emotions. Emotions are the sensations in your body as the chemicals are running through your body. Okay, remember chemical energy, right? Your endocrine system, they create hormones. Hormones carry chemical information. It's the transformation of your thoughts. Okay, and it sends it to your organs to prepare for emotion, for the things you're going to do and experience in reality. So when you say emotions, these are physiological, right? This is your body, your physical body has senses. It will sense chemicals running through you and it will experience it. And when those chemicals reach your cells, right? Anger is hot. That's why people will be flushed. Like you will see people turn red because that chemical creates heat. If you don't deal with that, if you continue to produce heat, anger, it inflames your cells. People can develop diseases. Now, when you start talking about self-therapy, I taught those things in the class. Take the class. We start talking about different ways to process your emotions because there are certain emotions that are not supposed to sit in your body for too long. But again, the self has to know that. You're not just supposed to be accepting every emotion because if you accept it, you repeat it. You repeat it. Now, feelings, on the other hand, right, is based on your vibration and your muscles will vibrate, right? When your nerves, electricity is passing through your nerves, it has received the instruction on what you want to do. Those electricity, right, they reach your nerves. Your muscles will vibrate. They will move at a certain frequency. And it becomes magnetic as well because electricity creates magnetism. Where you find magnets, you can create electricity. So your body, think about your muscular frame. When you think, do this, right? If your body has received the right instruction, it will do it. When your body has received the wrong instruction, this is where we start saying people are stuck. Because your motion has been hijacked by a wrong thought. The body now is freeze, fight. When we now say fight, flight, freeze, I'm connecting all these things together. There's psychology, there's behavioral science, there's emotional intelligence, there's energetics, there's spiritual psychology. I mix it all together because this is the quantum leap experience, right? This is the best transformational program you can ever see in the world. It connects all of these things. Your muscles, if it hasn't received the right go, there's another go take the class because I have all those documents in my class. There's another slide where I talk about start seeing emotions and feelings as indicator lights, just like in your car. Okay, let me let me go back to today's. Let me keep it calm and take the class or the classes, right? Let me just move on and close this out. Time is running. Number 3 is feelings are energetic. Feelings are energetic. You will experience your own energy as feelings. And those feelings, I'm trying to give you a cool clue. Think about your muscular system, your nerves, how they are responding to your thoughts and your own energy. Consider those as feelings. When you see certain people, You're like, or you're happy, right? How your body behaves, how your muscles tweak, how they move, how they right, how they respond, the actions you take is energetic, and it's based on instruction. If you have programmed yourself, I don't like this person, trust me, when the signal comes, your muscle is supposed to avoid the things you say you don't like. When you say you like, your muscles will crave it. And when we start talking about muscle memory, it's like the things you've done over and over and over, there's memory to repeat it, and it will bypass thinking because you've already approved it. I'll just give you highlights. Go to toyinumesiri.academy, complete the classes, the human design class, right? Quantum Leap Human Design. If you want to optimize your life, achieve unlimited, unstoppable success, because that's what this is about. Once you activate all of these things, no excuse anymore. Right now, many people have excuse. Oh, I don't have this. Oh, I can't do that. Right? Which is all a lie. But if you program and believe a lie, people live a lie. Right? Because your beliefs is your vibration. Whatever you believe, this system will use it to create the feelings and emotions that will make you true. You see, God has given you this system. You are the priest over your own life. Whatever you confess, whatever you think, whatever you speak over yourself, your body is listening to you. Your muscles will play it out, and your organs and cells will react. If you say something is wrong, it makes it wrong. If you say something is right, it makes it right. If you say I can do all things, you'll be able to all do all things. If you say you cannot do, you cannot do. Whatever you think and say over your own reality, it just copies and presents it. And then memory is created, right? And mind is software. It's a metaphysical world. But the memory, the physical memory of everything you've done has been done to you. You also approve you want to do in the future is also kept in the physical body. Okay, that's why I think there's a book that says body keeps score. Is that many people don't know is that when the internal processing finishes, your thoughts will be exposed physically. Your endocrine system will create chemicals, right, specific to how you're thinking and your vibration. Or your organs and cells will receive and react to them. How they react, this is what we call emotions, right? Joy, happiness, fulfillment, they are chemicals. They are gifts like joy, all the right, what will make your cells happy, the juice, the chemical, right? That will put your organs and cell in a happy state, such that your sensations are like we're good. It's a chemical that is created through thinking and vibration. Also, your muscles, your muscular system, the things that you would do, whether you are going to dance, whether you're going to jump up, whether you're going to feel happy, what you're going to do physically, to express physically, also will be energized as vibrations. Your muscles will vibrate, will receive electrical, right? They will deliver also electricity to your muscles that to make it switch and get you to stand up. If you're happy, you dance. And then if you don't have enough energy to do, you lie down, you start doing scrolling. It's an energetic state based on thinking. Because when you think clearly, right, this is the power of information, education, is that you can only produce to the level of the information at your disposal. So information is the biggest gap, right? Information is a gap because you cannot do what you don't know. And then the vibrational space you're in, that's another reality, is that if you're vibrating low, you cannot produce high. Mix those two things, they create vibration of possibility of belief. You don't have the right information, you don't have the right knowledge. You can be vibrating and dancing all you want. You can still produce without knowledge. Even when you have knowledge and you are doubting yourself, you can produce as well. So that's what I'm talking about. Both must match. Spirit and the word of God, both of them. It has to match. When Jesus is in the house, people still have to obey and do what he's telling them to do to receive the miracles. So people can have information, they don't have the right energy. Some people have the right energy, they don't have the right information. That's why many people can be happy, dancing. Oh, I bless you, you're blessed. Yes, come Monday morning, go and do what God has told you to do. They don't have information, and they think like information is expensive. Those two things are expensive. When we say motivational speaking, inspiration, that's why people pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to be in the right energetic field that will take you to the realm of possibility. That's why people pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to get coaches, get enlightened. Enlightenment illuminates your inner being to produce results. And people who say to themselves, they will not invest in knowledge and they will not invest in vibration, they are where they are already. They go to low vibration places, start picking low vibration things. They go to low vibration information, start picking, right, low vibration information. What will low vibration information and low vibration energy, what will it do? It creates nothing. That's why people get frustrated. If you want to eliminate your frustration, invest in my school, get the classes, get the courses, get the information that will set you free, empower you. You can create. You have hopes, dreams, aspiration. You have greatness. Nurture your own. This is how you nurture your own greatness. Okay, so I'm wrapping up now. Well, for your emotions are biological. I believe I already explained it. Right? Is that matter? Okay, your senses, what you see, what you smell, what you taste, what you touch. You experience it as senses, but it goes into the mind for informational processing. And the decision you make about what you're experiencing, okay, you have to say, what do I do? Right? Your mind wants to say, okay, if this is what you are experiencing and seeing and tasting, do you like it or not? If you like it, eat more of the food. If you don't like it, right? So the process goes both ways. External, you experiencing external world, it sends it to your mind. You're experiencing inner world, it sends it to your mind. So for example, if you're hungry, internal senses will say pick up hunger, and then your mind will try to interpret it. Okay, you're hungry, you need to feed your body. Okay, what do you want to eat? Those are inner conversations that you're having within you. And you can increase the quality, improve the quality of those conversations when yourself, your spiritual divine self, right, when you gain the skills and you develop and you mature, the conversation you're having within yourself ought to be more whole. And those conversations will, once you heal, once you find peace, inner peace within you, your organs and your reactions will change, your actions and response will change as well, because you are the one. Those inner narrative is what is influencing reaction, reactionary, anger, frustration, anxiety, worry. Is because if you think this type of thought, they produce this type of reaction in the body. Your cells will receive chemicals that is the interpretation of your thinking. Finally, for today, say here your mind holds both your conscious and subconscious. I've talked about it, like my school has those things explaining, right? What you feed it is what it will help you manifest. So, who is feeding your mind? Who is programming you? Who are you saying yes to? And your heart. Okay. When the classes I cover on emotional healing is to heal your vibration, because life happens. It's like when they say brush your teeth. Yesterday, your teeth was busy doing all kinds of things, exposed to germs. You don't question what happened yesterday, you just fix. So there are many things people need to fix energetically, their emotions. But many people who don't know forgiveness, who don't know gratitude, who don't know how to move forward regardless of their past, they will hold on to negative vibration and their muscles will now be tweaking. Anger, frustration, right? So you are living in a body that is stuck in the past because somebody did this and somebody did that, and you don't know how to clean up your own system and move on with your life. Those are when people say people are stuck. Literally, your muscles, your cells, you can be pouring repeated wrong messaging, chemical messaging, wrong electrical circuits. You can be pouring stuff into your physical based on your thing. Oh, they did this to you, you did that to you. Wow, wow, wow. This person is all the accusation. You remember, Bible says the same measure you used to judge other people to be used to judge yourself. Yes. So as you're thinking, oh, they are the ones, it's the government. You don't know that your body is also receiving the chemical that is produced by those, and then you get angry, you get frustrated, and you're wondering, where did the frustration come from? You created it, you manifested it. Because joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, ought to be your full-time job manifesting, because those are the things, they are more magnetic, they are more attractive. So the law of attraction, you vibrate hunger, you attract it. You vibrate love, you attract it. You are controlling your own vibration. Okay, gotta run. Thank you everybody for joining. Head over to toyinumesiri.academy to complete the human design class, the quantum leap human design courses, and then say hello when you join, right? We have an inner chat room, we have a school system, we have a community there. Say hello, drop a comment, come greet us, and access resources and tools to transform your life